Hi guys, welcome back to another interesting tutorial on my channel Code with Laksh. Now in this tutorial, we'll be creating out a notes application out of ExpressJS and MongoDB. Now let us go ahead and here I'm inside my Visual Studio Code. Now what's happening is that here first of all, let me show you that I have already posted the comprehensive crash courses on ExpressJS and MongoDB. Though the MongoDB tutorial doesn't include much detail. Okay, so I have covered only the basics part, that is the CRUD operations in MongoDB, and here also in ExpressJS I have also covered out a lot of things, and you can see it's around 6 hours of content. Okay, now let us go ahead to our uh, expressjs.com. Okay, expressjs.com. Now if you have not yet watched these two videos, there is no problem. Let me tell you that before using Express, you must have Node.js installed on your system. Okay, and without installing Node.js, of course, this will not be working. Okay, right here you can see Get Node.js. If you click on Get Node.js, you will see this is the latest version of Node.js. And for Windows user, you can directly go ahead with the MSI installer. But for Linux-based users, I'll be suggesting you to go with the CLI part. Okay, so right here you have an option for NVM for Linux users or Mac OS users. You have the option for NVM, that is Node Version Manager, through which you can manage multiple versions of Node.js on your system. Okay, so you can go with that, but for Windows users, I will just suggest you to go with the MSI installer. You can also use Docker if you are a if you're using Docker and you're familiar with Docker, you can use that. But for beginners, go ahead with the MSI installer. And for code editor, I'm using Visual Studio Code. Now you can means it's not compulsory that you are just confined to this Visual Studio Code editor only. You can just go ahead and use any kind of editor. You can use Sublime Text. You can use any kind of editor. Make sure the editor provides you auto suggestions. Don't use Notepad for this project. Okay, you can use that, but I will not suggest. Now, right here, first of all, let us initialize this folder as a empty Node.js package. So I'll type here npm init, then I'll type here -y. Now it will initialize this particular folder as a Node.js package, and you can see it has entered a lot of details. Now, what is this -y flag? Just answer yes to all the questions and just change the type to module. Now, if you're not clear about what are ECMAScript modules, what are CommonJS modules, make sure that you just watch the specific topic, that is our first Express application part. Okay, so right there I have told you about what are ECMAScript module, what are CommonJS modules. Okay, then let's go ahead and install ExpressJS. Okay, so I have copied the command to install ExpressJS. Just go ahead, right click and save it. Okay, save it. And apart from this, we'll be installing a number of other dependencies. Okay, let us go ahead and find out that which dependencies we're gonna be installing. Second is the most important thing, that is the Mongoose.js or the Mongoose module that we'll be installing. Now, why do we need this? We'll be using MongoDB, and of course, you have to also use this MongoDB. Now, if you don't want to install MongoDB on your system, I have also told you in the MongoDB crash course that how you can use Atlas, MongoDB Atlas for free. Uh, Free users get a shared memory and a 512 megabytes of storage. Okay, go ahead to products, then go to the community edition, download the community edition and install that. It's as simple as possible, don't worry. Okay, then right here they have not provided any install part, so what can I do is I can just go to Mongoose npm. Okay, just go to Mongoose npm. Now for non-programmers, if you directly type what is means Mongoose, it may show you about the Mongoose animal. Now you can see this has been just updated 6 days ago. It is updated regularly and it has a weekly download of 3 million. Okay, 3 million weekly downloads. So go ahead and install this. Okay, we have this package and another package that is the official Node.js driver. It's the MongoDB Node.js driver. It's official one. Okay, so actually Mongoose is the wrapper of this MongoDB, the native driver. Okay, and here what I'll do is I'll just right click and paste that npm I mongoose, and for sessions I'll be using passport. For authentication I'll be using passport because building out our custom authentication will take a lot of time. Okay, I don't want to waste that. So what we'll be doing is we'll be simply creating a button that will use the authentication. Okay, will be authentication use authenticating users based on their Google account. Okay, Google account. I know that's not a fruitful way because some people may not have a Google account. They may have a Rediff mail account. They may have a Yahoo mail account. You can implement a custom authentication. I'll be making a video about that if you comment down below. Now, before installing, let me tell you which one to install. So just type your Google. Okay, Google OAuth 20. Now, before installing this package, let me tell you, we have to also install Passport module side by side. Not only Passport Google Auth 20. Okay, this will not work standalone. So just write your passport. Just write your passport. Now you can see that uh, actually I think passport. Passport npm. Okay, let me see passport npm. So here npm I passport. Okay, the version is a little bit. I don't think so. This is this okay. That's okay. So what we'll be doing here, we'll be following out with MVC architecture. What does that mean is what we'll be doing is we'll be segregating out all the routes, models, controllers, services into separate folders. We'll be not just jumbling them in a single file. Okay, so let us go ahead and create a simple index.js file. Okay, now here we'll be implementing something, but let us create an src folder. Src folder. Inside this src folder, we'll be having this app.js file. Now, what does this app.js do? Okay, what does this app.js do? So right here, what I'll do is I'll just write import express from express. Okay, import express from express. Now const app is equal to express. Okay, const app is equal to express. Now just I can just write here return app. Okay, we can do something like this, but I'll be not doing that. I'll be not following this one. I'll not do this. Okay, rather directly I'm just right here. Let me just copy the example from here. I'll just copy the example from here and do a right click, not a right click, actually control V to directly paste it. Just change this import statement. We are not using common JS. Okay, import express, import express from express. Okay, it's a good practice to provide a semicolon. Change the port so that it doesn't conflict with if you're already running any applications that are using 3000 port, it might conflict with them. Okay, then we have this example app. So let's just name it as Notes app. Notes app listening on port $. Port. Okay, just run it. Just run it. Now you can see Notes app listening on port 8080. Now this is not a fruitful way of running because what will happen is, okay, let me just break it up. Okay, right here you can see it's just running this node, then the entire path of my index.js. Now what's the problem is that whenever I'll make any changes to my file, what will happen is it will not restart my server. Okay, let us just visit to our local host port 8080. Let me just close these all tabs except some tabs. Okay, these three tabs will be open. And what I will do is I'll just visit localhost port 8080. I can see this is hello world, but what will happen if I change this to hello world 2? It will not reflect anything. You can see it's not reflecting anything. So what we can do is, okay, for Node.js modern versions, what happened is they introduced a watch flag. So what we can do is node dash dash watch dot. Now, if you do something like this, it will watch all the changes in your entire directory. Now, if I'll save this, restarting dot, that means it's watching all the files and folders in this particular root directory. Okay, now if I reload this, you can see hello world 2, it's showing up here. Okay. And now for UI part, I'll be not wasting my time, just going to get Bootstrap, grabbing out some UI components. Okay, I know that I can also use something called Tailwind CSS, but setting up Tailwind CSS will take a lot more time. So I'll not set up Tailwind CSS. You can do that later on. Okay, now setting up these template engines. Okay, setting up template engine. Now, right here, what I will do is I will just go ahead and write here npm I express handlebars. Okay, npm I express handlebars. Now, note that we have this src folder right here. Okay, we have this src folder right here. So, what should I do is actually I can also move my index.js to src folder, but I'll not do that right. So I have installed Express handlebars. So just import something from this Express handlebars package, that is engine. Okay, I have also talked about it in my ExpressJS crash course. Okay, so don't worry about that. App.engine. So just enable the engine. We have to provide the extension HBS. Now, if you'll see the official documentation of Express handlebars on the GitHub, actually this Express handlebars is a wrapper on the top of a handlebars package. Handlebars is a separate package. This is a wrapper on that. Okay, because if you go ahead and directly use the handlebars package, maybe we may face some problems. I don't think so, but let us just do this. Okay, name. Okay, extension name. What is the extension name? HBS. Can we configure the default layout? Yes, we can configure, because default layout actually it's named as main.hps. Okay, but we are changing it to base so that it's just familiar, because I keep working with that base.html, base.hts. app.set, app.set, and here is the setting. So what is the setting? Just change the view engine to use HBS. Okay, change the view engine to use HBS. Now what happens is by default Express uses the EJS template engine, but we have not learned about that. So we'll be using this HBS template engine. Okay, and right here let us create a views folder. Inside this views folder we'll have a layouts folder. Inside that layouts folder, let us have a base.hps. Inside this base.hps, we'll just paste our boilerplate code, that is the Bootstrap starter template, and let us just bring in a navigation bar here. Okay, copy this navigation bar to clipboard, then create a partials folder. Now again, this is also discussed, partials. Okay, and here inside partials underscore navbar.hps. Now, how do we insert this partials into this page.hps? So what we can do is we can just write something like this. Now, this is how you can insert partials. Now, if I'll go to handlebars, okay, handlebarsjs.com website, okay, and search for something called partials, okay, partials, okay, inline partials, basic partials, okay. So like this, you can just insert partials in your template. Okay, actually this is the partial name. Now our partial name is underscore navbar. I have inserted an underscore to denote it as a separate component or a partial. Okay, it's a industry practice. And right here, what I will do is I'll just create a index.hps. Just return hello world. Just just do this. So right here inside the src folder, let us split up routes, routes folder, and inside this routes folder we'll have a nodes.js because this will be the base route. So import router from express. Now const router is equal to use router. Sorry, not use router. It's not Next.js. Const router equals to router. It's an instance of the router function from express. Okay. Export router as, just give it an alias name of nodes. Now just copy and paste this. That is the slash endpoint from here. Paste this, and instead of app.get, just write here router.get, and just write here rest.render. Okay, rest.render. What will be rendering? Will be rendering this index template. Okay, we'll be rendering this index template. Now app.use slash, okay, app.use slash, and just provide a nodes router. Save it, and here we get this error, cannot find module. What's happening is that in ECMAScript modules you have to provide the entire path including the extension of the file. Okay, and if I'll just reload this, you can see that here is our navbar. Now what is happening here, because I have written here hello world and it's not being rendered. How to render that? So to render that, just write here body. Okay, body, and right here after including the body you have this hello world right here. Okay, and for the navigation bar, let me just change this to nav bar dark. Okay, or bg dark, database theme dark. Okay, so right here you can see that we're getting this dark navigation and it's looking quite good. Okay, it's looking good. Now you can also go ahead and watch my expressions, just the part where I have taught you about the handlebars template engine. Okay, and right here what I will do is next, right here let's change the title inside of navbar. Okay, so right here what we can do is actually, okay, what we can do is we can use a middleware, write a middleware here. Okay, request response and next. Okay, we'll just write a middleware right here. That is just write here rest.locals dot title or site title, which equals to, that is the site title. We want to include a site title, that is nodes app. Okay, why I'm doing this, let me show you. Okay, now what will happen is it will be a bit hectic if you are changing the site name. You have to reflect it or change it in all the templates in the worst case. Okay, so right here, just write site title, and what will happen is just reload it. You can see we are getting the site title, and this rest.locals, what it does is it just casts this site title variable to all of our templates. Now right here also, and from where this title variable will be coming, we'll be passing this title variable from each and every individual rendering where we are doing the rendering part. Okay, so title will be home because this is the home page. Reload it, you can see home, and we can also include a site description, but site description will be a little bit different for each and every page. Okay, we can just include a meta description. Okay, shift all down arrow, site desk. Okay, and manage your nodes on the cloud. And right here we can do something like meta disk, and if I'll reload it here and show you the passwords, manage your notes on the cloud. Okay. So now after doing a lot of things, I don't think we require to make any changes to our UI. Okay, you can do that after this particular tutorial. Okay, just customize this on your own. And right here, first of all, let us just go ahead and create out a module to just, okay. So right here, import mongoose from mongoose, then export async const connect db, which equals to an asynchronous function. Okay, await mongoose.connect. We have to provide the URI. Before providing the URI, console.log, okay, connected to MongoDB. Okay, connected to MongoDB. And right here, what I will do is I will just grab out my MongoDB URI. Okay, I'll just grab out my MongoDB URI. Accidentally connected to my cluster. So right here, I'll just copy my connection string. Okay, and paste it here. And after this, let us just provide my notes app. Let us just name this. And also right here, I'll just type my notes app. And if I'll go to website, you can see my notes app. Okay. And then what I will do is I will just go ahead and just add this particular function right here. Connect DB. Okay, connect DB. Actually, we can handle the error while connecting to a database, but I will not do that right now. And here you can see we are getting this connected to MongoDB. Okay, wait a second. Okay, so right here, what we'll do next is inside this src folder, let us create a models user.js, import mongoose from mongoose, import schema from mongoose. Okay, so now Control Alt F, just format this, format document, Shift Alt F. Okay, so const user schema is equal to new schema. Okay, so right here, let us just store some information about the user name. Okay, we'll store the name of the user, type string. Okay, that's quite optional. That is optional. We may or may not store the name. Then the picture, the user picture. Okay, that is also optional. That is also optional. Then email, required true, and unique also true. Okay, and I don't think we require any additional information about the user, just these three things that we require. Okay, then timestamps updated at false. Why updated at false? Because yeah, let us just keep that. Timestamps true. Okay, so now you can see it has been formatted like this, and export const user is equal to mongoose.model. Okay, mongoose.model. Right here, we'll just write user. Okay, add user schema. Saving this, copy this, just copy this, and creating a node.js. Control H wherever you are finding the word user. Okay, wherever you are finding that, just replace it with node. Okay, now no type, no name, not provide any name, not no picture. Okay, no picture, and is completed. Okay, so type is boolean. Okay, default is false. It's not completed by default. Okay, it's not completed by default. Now right here what I will do is I'll just save this, and these two collections have been created directly, and here another field is remaining, that is the user. Type mongoose dot types dot object id. Now this has not been covered in the MongoDB crash course, and this means to create a one-to-one relation between node and user. A user can have one node and a node can have only one user. This is just a one-to-one relation between the two models. Okay, so reference, what will be the reference? The reference will be to the user model. Okay, then is it required? Yes, of course it's required. Required true. Save this, and after saving this, let us just go ahead and set up passport.js. Okay, right here what I will do is I will create config slash passport config.js. Okay, and referring to my GitHub code, I'll just grab out my code, github.com. I'll just grab out my code for passport authentication. Now, for passport authentication, I have a dedicated video. Okay, I already have a dedicated video on ExpressJS and passport authentication. I already have a dedicated video. But what I will do is I'll just copy my code from this Express crash course. Okay, Express crash course, I'll just copy the code. So from config, we'll have this passport.config.js. Copy this, and for this we need some configurations, that is this Google client ID, Google client secret, and Google callback URL. For this, we have to also install something called .env package. .env package. So what I will do is I'll just import .env slash config. Now this will by default load the .env file from the root level .env. Okay, .env file from root level, and just go to console.cloud.google.com. Okay, just go to this console.cloud.google.com to create a new application. Okay, create a new project. So what I will do is I'll just go ahead and create a new project. Create a new project. Okay, and my notes app. Create this, my notes app. Okay, this is my project name, that is my notes app, and select this. Okay, after selecting this project, go to APIs and services, then credentials. After going here, you may see a warning that you have not yet set up the Google, means you have to configure the Google OAuth consent screen. Okay, let us configure that. Get started. App name is this, support email is this. Click on next. User type external. internal is only for the Google Workspace users. Okay. So after clicking on finish, it will create. Okay. Now create a OAuth client. After configuring that, we'll create a OAuth client. And here, this is my web application. Just name it this. Okay. Authorize redirect device, that is HTTP localhost /auth /callback /Google. Okay. /auth /callback /Google. And just what I will do is I'll just copy the route from here. Okay. I'll just copy the route. So right here I'm having this /auth/Google. Copy this, and what I will do is rather here I will just go inside my routes auth.js. Okay, auth.js, and import router, export. Okay, so right here let us just write const router is equal to use. Sorry, this is not Next.js, this is Express. So just paste that right here. Okay, and just format the document. And what I'll do is I'll just replace app with router. Save this. Okay. And I have also copied out the passport config. Let me see, are there any errors? So this is not user model, actually only user. Just import user, and if I'll find any user model, just replace it with user. Okay. And not with username, just find it with email. Okay, just find with email. We don't need any username of the user. We're not storing the username, and just directly store the name, and here picture. Okay, and just we're not storing any username. So name, email, picture, and this. Okay, just these things. Okay, and in my index.js, what I will do is I will just configure these many things. I'll just copy this. Okay, and also what we need is we also need this something called connect Mongo to store our sessions in the database. Connect Mongo, paste it right here. Okay, connect Mongo, and I'll just copy these things. Copy these things. And do I require any external things? Do I require any cookie parser modular or anything else? No, we don't require that. We don't require that. Okay, and just I will do one thing. I'll just paste them right here. Okay, and process.env.mongodb URI. Actually, what happens is we have to write a Google client ID. Okay, then shift on down arrow. Google client secret. Okay, Google callback URL. Okay, then we'll have MongoDB underscore URI, which should stay at the top. Then also something called session underscore secret. I'll do one thing. I'll just go ahead to my Google console here, wherever I have created the OAuth application. I have to just click on this create. Okay, and I'll just copy this Google client ID. And remember, this will not be valid after you, if you're watching this tutorial afterwards, because I'll be deleting this particular thing. Okay, slash or slash callback slash Google. Okay, and MongoDB URI, whatever I copied here. Okay, so my notes app and session secret. Let me just uh, generate a session secret. I'll just delete this. I'll just generate a session secret. I'll not show you how. Okay, so I have actually shown you. There is no problem because I may also change the session secret. Remember that don't change the session secret if your user is already logged in, because that might cause some issues while re-authenticating the user. Okay, so right here we'll just copy this. Instead of nodes router, we'll just use the auth router slash auth app.to slash auth, and inside this auth, let me just remove the prefix auth from here. I'll just remove this prefix auth from here. Okay, and in my index dot underscore navbar.hps, let me check what I'm passing. So if I'm getting the user, okay, so if I'm getting the user right here, what I'll do is I'll just write, I don't need this for, I don't need this for hashtag if. Okay, so if we are not getting the user, or else what's happening is that if there is no such nothing called user, if the user is not actually, if the user is not slash auth slash Google, okay, class will be VPN primary login. Okay, and we'll just do a shift all down arrow, shift this upwards, then just if the user clicks on logout, now here if I reload this particular home page, let us check if there are any errors that we are encountering here. And module not found. Okay, module not found. Which module is not found? Oh, sorry, this is dot slash src slash config. Okay, reload this, and this time we also get this error that is passport is not defined. Where is the error coming from? Okay, so reload it again. Yeah. Now, if I click on this login and we cannot get slash or slash Google, what's happening here? Let me see. App.to slash auth and app.gets. Yeah. Now we are getting this. Let us see what happens if I'll go ahead and do something like this. Okay, and if I'll go to MongoDB Compass, we must see our user. We must see our user. Connect right here, my notes app and sessions. One existing session. Yeah, we're getting the user right here. Okay, we're getting the user. That's amazing. If I click on logout, this will just log out the user. Now, what should I do is actually, instead of showing a button, let me just show a drop down right here. Instead of showing a button, here if there is a user, okay, ul class navbar dash nav, okay, just paste that here. And if there is a user, then just write here welcome, or let us say img src. Src will be user dot picture. Actually, this should be user dot picture, not request dot user dot picture. Okay, and right here, if I reload this, save it, and just log in again. Mm, I'm not sure what's happening here. Let me check. User dot picture. User dot picture. We should get the user picture. Yeah, here is the picture, but it's coming very large. So let us just give it a class. Okay, width of 36 and height of 36. Okay, and a class of rounded dash full. Okay, rounded dash full, and we loaded uh, rounded circle, actually rounded circle. Okay, rounded circle, and it's looking good. And after that, let us just write a span. Okay, aiming 3, and just right here we don't have any username, so just write a name, request dot user dot name dot split. Okay, dot split. See, welcome Kodutlash. Okay, so if I'll click on this drop down, I want to see. Okay, and I think this is something that will position the drop down menu to the left. I don't think we need this position. It's fine. Okay. Hmm. Okay, it's fine. Now, if you want to also introduce some icons, you can do something like go ahead and grab out the font or some CDN from CDN.js. Okay, and copy the link tag, paste it inside base.hps. Okay, paste it inside the base.hps. And just what we can do is, so here I think we should get the logout icon. We're not getting the logout icon. Do you have something called sign out? No. We can also go ahead to font awesome. So here what we can do is we can search for logout. Okay, and here, so we don't have any such icon. Okay, we don't have any such icon. Okay, so we can use this icon, but I don't think this will look good. So just use this icon right here. So if I reload and we're getting this logo icon right here, that is fine. And login, this one, just copy that. Okay, just copy this and paste it right here wherever we are getting the login text. Save this, and here if I click logout, you see this is showing me this login button. Okay, and that's enough for the design part of our application. Right here, let us do one thing inside our this home page. Inside our home page, what I'll do is I'll just go ahead and create a for. Okay, inside partials, let us just create a for underscore create node.hps. So this will be a for. Okay, for. Okay, action. Now for the form part, I'll just directly grab out a component from here. Okay, I'll just directly grab out this particular form from here. I'll not waste any time in just doing some designs. Okay, so slash, okay, slash, just create this endpoint. We'll be just creating this endpoint. So method will be post, and right here instead of email address, just type your no title. Okay, we don't need this email help. Okay, so title. Okay, description. What we can do is we can just write a note description. Okay, and for description part, what I will do is I'll just change the type here. Okay, not type actually, just change this to text ink. And rows should be 4. Right here also for the title part, the type will be text, not email. Just provide a name attribute to each and every input and text area field. So the first will be title, name equals to title, and name equals to description. Okay, just remove this checkbox from here. Okay, and okay, just add note. This add note. Now this will be a dot container dot moy3. Okay, and just include this partial, that is underscore create note. Okay, and if I reload my page, you can see note title and note description, and we can also provide a title h1 add your note. Okay, and Okay, adding note. So right here, what I want to do is actually, so what I want to do is I want to just write here that mm, actually here what should have what should okay, so here this button should be disabled actually, and okay, this button should be disabled. So what I'll do is I'll just write here. Please log in to add your notes. Okay, and the same thing will provide a hr.my3. Okay, just copy this, paste it right here. Okay, and here what I'll do is please log in to see your notes. Okay, so just load this and you can see your notes. And if I log in, it is showing me form because I have included the format. Just remove that. I'll just remove that. Okay, and right here what I will do is inside my notes.js route file, notes.js route file. Okay, right here what I will do is I will just go ahead and write something like const notes is equal to, okay, const notes is equal to, just pass in notes here. Okay, so if not of request.user, if notes, let notes, okay, notes is equal to await notes note. Actually this should import that from note. Actually I'm exporting this. Okay, so await note dot find, okay, user request dot user, okay, request dot user. So this should be async, save this and reload this. We should see there are some errors. What are those errors? Here I have to provide .js extension. Reload this again and you can see your notes is completely blank. So right here, if we are having not having any notes, you do not have any notes, please add your first note. Please add your first note and this will be displayed, and let us just go ahead and actually insert a note. To insert a note, what I will do is just do a copy of this part. Okay, and router dot host slash add dash node. Okay, so if not of request dot user, rest dot redirect slash. Okay, so writer, I'll just write const new node is equal to node dot create. Okay, node dot create title. Okay, description. Let me see here inside my note. So okay, DSC, and then I'll have user, that is request dot user. Request dot user, and right here actually what I need to do is const title comma DSC, which equals to, let me just change the field name to description instead of desk. Okay, equals to request dot body. Okay, now right here to get the request dot body, what we have to do is actually right here inside our index.js. Let me see. So here we have to actually do something like accepting. Okay, app.use the middleware. I don't think we require that. Let us see. Yeah, this one, this particular part. App.use express.url encoded true, extended true. Okay, so save this and go inside our base.hps, not inside base.hps, index.hps, wherever we are having our file. Now, what I will do is I'll just create a dummy node. This is a test node, and parse error, else what's happening. Open end block. A second, let me see what happened. Oh, actually, I have to end this if, this nested if. Okay, I have to end that. So just reload it, and you're not, we are not getting anything. So here dot true. Okay, now hashtag each nodes. Okay, and slash each, just render out something called underscore note card. Okay, and just pass it this. Okay, pass this, and from here I'll just copy out a card, a sample card. Okay, without any, just copy this card from here. Okay, and create a partial, that is underscore note card dot hps. Okay, and this is a button that will just confirm the deletion of a note. Okay, delete. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll just write here that this should have a style. Okay, style, that is text decoration line through. Okay, now if I'll do something like this, it will by default not rendering anything. Okay. Each nodes, hashtag each nodes. I'm not getting any notes. Console. Okay, so what I have to do is actually here we have to do something like dot lean. Okay, dot lean so that it reads out everything. Like, so reload it and here, yeah. So this is a node and this is a test node. So what's happening is that I want to just render this type whenever if we are having this particular hashtag if completed, okay, is completed. Okay, so just copy this and also paste it here. I'll just show this if this is completed. Okay, okay. Now if this is complete, I'll just show it. And here also, let me just do one thing that let us create a div. For solid dot fa pencil. Okay, so this will just render out a pencil because I want a edit icon and a trash icon. Load it and so success. Okay, and just make this buttons low small. Btn sm. Okay, btn sm, and this one will go to. Okay, so slash edit node slash will have this underscore id. Okay, reload this and what happened here? Ahref. Okay, Ahref, and this is my underscore id. What happened here? Ahref. This is my id. Okay, so this is actually slash a not slash button. Reload this. If I'll click on this, you can see I'm going to this page, but there is nothing on this page. Okay, what I will do is I'll just copy everything from here. Okay, create a edit node.hps. Okay, and in this create node, I'll just pass this. Let me show you what I'm doing now. I'll just show you what I'm doing now. Edit node. Okay, edit node. Now inside the same partial, what I will do is okay. So what I will do is I'll just write here. Okay, hashtag if underscore id. If you're getting anything called underscore id, okay, else this slash if. Okay, so if I'm getting anything like this, so just do something like underscore id. Okay, so this will be the action part. Okay, now in the title part, what I'll do is if underscore id, if I'm getting anything such as underscore id, okay, so what I will do is I'll just set the value to the title. You don't need any else part right now. And also for the text area, we don't will not set any value attribute, directly will pass the description. Okay, now if I'll show you my home page, if I'll reload this, if you'll see, here we are having this add note and everything right here. But as soon as I do one thing, that is create a dynamic route for editing a note. Okay, I'll just create a dynamic route. Shift all down arrow. So I'll just do a route chaining. Okay, router.route slash edit dash note slash, okay, slash colon, then note ID. I'll just change the route, change the routes. Okay, dot get. Inside dot get will directly pass in the function. Right click and format the document first. Okay, so if not of user, rest dot redirect to slash. Okay, and then note const note is equal to this one. Okay, and if request dot user not equals to note dot user dot to string. Okay, note dot user dot to string, and here we'll just use find by id. Okay, find by id, and this will be request dot user, sorry, not request dot user, request dot params dot note id. Okay, so if they're not equal, rest dot redirect to slash. Okay, and just pass in the note. Okay, and just render out edit note page. And if I go to this page, and if I go to this page, if not of request dot user, note, it's an object ID type. Okay, so find by ID. Okay, not dot field actually. Why I'm not getting anything? Oh wait, not dot find by ID. Just console dot log. Nothing's happening. Why nothing's happening? Cannot send headers from this into the client. So here actually let us set the else part. Restart render. Okay. Hmm. I don't know what's happening right now. So this should be actually node.user dot. Oh, sorry. Rather we have to use this toString, not that schema dot types dot object ID. So okay, we have to use the schema dot types dot object ID. Okay, and if I reload and go to this page, you still can visit that page. Okay, why? What's happening here? Let me see. So my notes app, let me visit. It's at my notes, I'm having the object ID right here, and here is my user. So why can't I visit this particular thing? Particular. I should be able to visit this part. Okay, let me just bring it upwards and just write it console.log request.user. Okay, and then just let me see what I'm getting. Oh, actually, what we have to do is uh, actually request.user should return the ID, but in this case, it's not doing that. Okay, so what we have to do is actually yeah, right here we are getting this. So request.user.toString. If I do this, I think no, this will not work. We have to do something like this. Okay, but issue is that we are not getting our values set right here. So create note, and I think we have to pass an note right here. Yeah, this is a note and this is a test note. Now if I show you right here, you can see edit note. It has a post. It has a post right here. Okay. So I'll just change these routes and just write here that if anyone makes a another request, that is a post request. Okay, that is a post request. Okay, if anyone makes a post request, so we'll perform the same thing, but something different as the add node does. Okay, so updated note. Okay, title description user. We do not need. We will not modify the user. Okay, rather here, what I'll do is I'll just write a find by ID and update. Okay, just write a request dot params dot note ID. Okay, request dot params dot note ID, and this increases some redundancy. Okay, this will increase the redundancy. I know that because we are typing this many times. So dollar set. Okay, and dollar set will set these things. Okay, and dollar set. Okay, right click and format document, and rather will be just redirecting to slash edit note. Okay, so note dot underscore id. Okay, and let us see if our note is being updated. Actually, sorry, I have to redirect the user to slash, not to the edit note page. Okay, slash. Okay, so right here, let us just here actually inside my create note, if I'm getting anything called this ID, I know that it's not fruitful to modify the same for, uh, it's not a good practice. Reload this and something happened. Okay, so here we have to actually end the if part and update note hashtag 2 update note, and here we get the updated note. Fine. Okay, so just create a delete route. doing everything similar to the update part, or let us see this one. Okay, so right here what I'll do is I'll just write here this part. Okay, this part, and we have to also find the node, right? Delete node. Okay, delete node, and this will also take something called colon node id. Okay, so node dot find by id and delete will be not setting anything, rather will be just deleting the node. Okay, we don't require any title or description. Okay, so here we have done everything, but still a thing is left. That is the is completed part. Okay, that is the is completed part. Now, what I will do is for temporarily for testing part, for testing out. Okay, I'll just redirect the user to slash edit node slash this and node dot underscore id. I'll just temporarily do this thing because I want to see what value I'm getting. Console.log is completed. Okay, now let me see that in my Bootstrap components. Okay, something should be there called switches. Yeah, we are getting the switches and copy this and copy the switch, and in my create mode actually. Okay, create mode slash if. Okay, slash if, press tab and shift tab, and completed. Okay, label for completed. Okay, completed. Then I will just write a name completed. Okay, now what I will do is if I'm editing this, let me switch this and click on update, and let me see what I'm getting for the completed part. And we're getting this one. Okay, this one. And okay, so what I'll do is I'll set completed which equals to request dot body dot is completed. By default value is off. Okay, or uh let us see what is the value that is coming from this. Okay, now if I'm switching this and we are getting off, right? Because something is happening, something is wrong actually, right? Completed. Okay, so we should get this. Okay, so it's actually is completed. Okay, so let us just change this to completed. Okay, and if I switch it on and click on update, now you can see we're getting this on right here. Okay, so if it's on, the value is true, else it's false. Okay, so just okay, so request this. Okay, this is by default off. Okay, now just set it right here. Completed. Sorry, is completed. So completed. Okay, double equals to on. Okay, so just set it to true, else false. Save it, and as soon as I update this, update note, and we don't get anything. Why? Okay, so it's true actually. And right here, what we need to do is inside this create note actually, hashtag if is completed checked. Okay, completed checked, and redirect the user to slash home. Let us see. So inside my navigation bar, there are some issues. So partials inside my nav bar. Okay. So right here, actually, we need to redirect the user to the home page. Just changing something in the navigation bar. Okay. Right here, about, and then, okay, shift all down arrow. There is contact us. Okay. Okay. And if I'll go to my home page, and I can see this is a node and this is a node. Okay. If I'll click on delete, I want that. Okay. What will happen if I click on this delete button? Okay. So inside my index.hps, let me write out a script. Okay. I'll just write a script that is const. Okay. So if not of window.confirm, okay, are you sure you want to delete this node? Okay, are you sure you want to delete this node? If you're not confirming anything, we'll also not return anything. Else, we'll define a URL that is okay. That will be that is this slash delete node, delete dash node slash. Okay, I'll provide this node ID. Okay, and window dot location dot href is equal to this particular URL. Now, as soon as I click on this button, I should be deleting the node. Okay, and let us set a data set data node ID. Okay, node ID which equals to underscore ID. Okay, underscore ID, and on click delete node. Okay, on click delete node, and this dot data set dot node, right, and reload this, click on delete. Okay, and slash delete node slash it was not found. Actually what happened is inside my nodes.js, I just declared it as a post out, just declared it as a get out. If I reload this, you can see you do not have any nodes. Please add your first node. Log out, and you can see this. And you can make it better by creating a separate login page as well. I will be not doing that. Okay, so this was all about this project of creating a nodes application with ExpressJS, Passport, and MongoDB and Bootstrap as well. Okay, and I will see you next time.